Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your February 2019 love reading. I'm Jade with Yes, 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 and thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for your likes and your shares and your subscribes. For those who've reached out for personal readings, that's been a lot of fun as well. So if you are interested in having a personal reading, all that information is in the box below, as well as the deck information. And for new people, welcome. And if this resonates for you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section, or just hitting that like button is the easiest and the best way to help the channel out. So I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to get started here, let you know how we're going to set this really special love reading up. We're going to start with the Romance Angels deck. We'll get an overall, and then we're going to move to the Mystical Lenormand deck, and I'll understand the path between the masculine and feminine this month. And then we'll finish off with the Line Strider deck, and that'll give us more about the energies of what the masculine and feminine are feeling. Okay, so let's get started. All of the decks have been pre-shuffled. And I have been meditating on your energy, Cancer. So let's see, we're looking for one card for Cancer for February. Is that the card? It looks like it. Finances and career. Now, this is always the like wah wah card. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So let's talk about that just a bit. If you are so focused on money, and, you know, if you're feeling like that's what's going to give you security, then by all means focus on that. But what I will say is that there's always a need for balance. And I feel like that's what these types of cards, when they come up, you know, we'd love to hear true love. We'd love to hear, soulmate energy. But this is just telling us, urging us to make sure that we are in balance, that our lives are in balance. And so if there has been a focus on money, on finances, maybe getting out of debt, and consolidating, or even just getting a new job and there was that dip in between, so just trying to get yourself back on top. It's just that was where your focus was. And so now, because you're here looking at a love reading, it's obvious to me that your focus is now on love, right? So we just need to find the balance between the two. That's all right, so we're going to do the Lenormand spread here, or not a spread, but this is the Pac-Man. It's the where's the masculine energy, who's chasing who. Okay, so let's see how this journey unfolds for this month for Cancer in February 2019. It's that card. And so what I'm looking for are the masculine and feminine significator cards, and then I will read what's happening in between the two. There's the masculine. All right. We have the house, the fox, and the key. Then we have the lily, and the letter, and the mice. The anchor, the bouquet, the clover, and the rider. It's a nice line. The ship, the clouds, and the birds, the garden, the fish, the the cross and the mountain, and there is the lady there. All right, so what we have, Cancer, is we have quite a bit of a journey between the masculine and the feminine finding each other this month, okay? What I'm seeing here, and I'm going to just add her to the top. Let me make sure that you can see all this. Yeah, it's kind of there at the top. Is what I'm seeing here is that the middle line is the meeting point, okay? So let's talk about the masculine, let's talk about the feminine and what's going on, and then we'll talk about the meeting point. Well, I'll talk about the meeting point in between. All right. So for the masculine, we've got a stable, probably entrepreneur here, somebody who's a boss, who does things in his own way. So if this is you, Cancer, you have your own home, right? You've been working on your stability, you've been working on your finances, doing things that serve you best in your career. Okay, that has been your key. That has been the way in which your your best self has been unlocked. Okay, when you feel connected to your home and connected to your career. So that could be what we're talking about with this finances here. Now, Cancer, you are the sign of the home, so that it's not a hard sell. Okay, I get that. Now, there's also this connection to either antiquity or to your sensuality, and a connection, and maybe this is an online connection that made you a little nervous. Okay, and it could be that this person that you might have met masculine online could have been saying the things that kind of helps you to connect to a more sensual, sexual nature that was a little, disconcerting, a little surprising even. But I feel like some of that information came out and it just caught you off guard. It made you a little like anxious, a little worried that, maybe this is not the right way to go, or perhaps it's maybe this is touching me a little bit deeper than I thought it would. Okay, so masculine, if you're trying to meet somebody online, and that's just my estimate here with it being the letter, because we don't send letters anymore. How do we connect with each other but by online? Now, this could be an online dating site, but it could also just be, you meet somebody because you like them on Instagram and you're talking to them, on their Instagram, okay? So, and by saying that, what that makes me think of is perhaps this person is a social media person, the masculine here, all right? Now, here's the actual meeting point of the masculine and the feminine. And it has something to do with a good time, which is great. A good time that's coming. So what I would say is for both masculine and feminine, when you feel stable, when you feel like you're at a place where you can be your best self and you can branch out, there's no anxiety, there's no worry about who you are, how you're perceived, whatever that may be. Some people drink alcohol to shed any of that. They shed that questioning of themselves. We get a little bit looser. And I'm not saying to do that, but what I'm saying is that that's the security, that inner security. When you feel good, when you are free to express yourself without the worry of how it's going to be received, that is the place where you're going to meet each other. Okay. Now, it may be an actual meeting place that I'm talking about where you're able to shed those preconceived notions or to be your best self. But what I would say is if you can put yourself in situations where you only are feeling this way, it's going to raise the bar, raise the standard for that person to meet you there. All right. I hope that makes sense. It's not telling me an actual place. It's just telling me good thoughts, blessings, positivity, that type of thing, and forward movement. So we can infer that in many different situations. So get to a place where you feel a sense of security and feeling good with yourself. All right. Now, for the feminine's been kind of journeying, is what it seems like, and it's been a little confusing journey. Now, this could be moving for work or traveling for work, because again, we're talking about finances and careers. And there's a little confusion because of conversations, maybe conversations at work, conversations in your community. There's some type of confusion that's happening on the feminine side. And I think it does have to do with money and the weight and trying to get through, obviously, some financial burden. You've got the cross, which might be a family burden. And then you have the mountain here, which is also a slow, and it could be challenging, but it's slow progress. So what I'm feeling for the feminine is that there's some type of work situation that has to do, or maybe you moved for work, okay, and you haven't gotten settled. You've changed jobs, something like that has happened where you just haven't gotten settled. There's a lot of talk, and there's talk about money, but there's just a burden that's just really slow. It's just not coming forward yet. So you're really worried about that, obviously. All right. So feminine, when you can get past this worry about finances, whatever you need to do for you, get to that place where you feel a sense of security and goodness, that's when you will meet your masculine. Masculines, all you need to do is keep doing you, shed whatever anxiety you might feel about meeting somebody, if it is online or if it's just meeting, talking with people online, shed that, then you'll be feeling good. Okay, so that, and it does look like the masculine's moving towards the feminine this month. So let me know if that resonates. It's quite an interesting story. It's hard sometimes to get to each other when we have so many other issues that are coming up that are important: financial, career, security. We all need to feel secure in ourselves, and know that we can offer something to our other. So it's sometimes that just takes the it's just that's our focus, and it's difficult to remember, oh yeah, we also need to be open to relationship. Okay, so let's see what else is here for Cancer. The overall energy for two. You have two. Okay, we'll go for it. So we have 10 of Cups and 5 of Wands. What I'm feeling here is that it's been a struggle to get to this place of emotional emotional security, yes, but stability and fulfillment. The 10 of Cups is the whole, you've done the whole journey of the cups. You've gone up and down and sideways. You felt it all, and now you've come to a good place where this is where you want to be. It's that emotional fulfillment, being in partnership, starting a family, all the things that are emotional relating, that type of energy. And the 5 of Wands being here up underneath it is just telling me that it's been a struggle. That's really where you've been trying to focus on, is really moving towards this place, but you're struggling with the other issues as well. Okay, now let me center this because I want to read it that way. Okay, so let's see. We've got the High Priestess and the 4 of Wands in reverse. And what I'm feeling here is that we've got the feminine and the masculine over here. The masculine is really connected to the intuitive self, the ability to manifest and to follow inner guidance. I feel like that's the success that you might be having, masculine, with your finances right now. The success that you're having in your career is due to having this deep connection where you're hearing your intuition, you feel your magic, and you know how to make it happen. Feminine, I feel like you might have come out of a relationship that was upturned. Like the sense of security that you would have felt in relationship is not what you're feeling right now. You want it, you want to feel that, but you are trying and struggling to get to that place, and you're trying to do it on your own. You're not seeing. I think we get to a place where we try to provide for ourselves because we don't want to rely upon a partner to give us things. And so I feel like for the feminine, you're trying to build this stability, this stable home, this rock foundation, this rock solid foundation, and so that you will have a great meeting place, a good foundation for when you do meet your masculine. But I feel like just right now we're just a little upturned. It's there's probably some of the struggle that's left over from the past that you're trying to work through. Okay, what else do we have? We have King of Wands in reverse, Knight of Wands in reverse. So it seems to me, Cancer, that anything that you try to do, don't. So any action that you're taking is working against you. Okay, so for the masculine we have the King, for the feminine we have the Knight. Both are in the reverse. It's any type of action or passion or quick or intrepid energy forward, I think is not the right energy for you right now, Cancer. I think that and again, you are a water sign, when you are in flow, when you are in your receptive place, I feel that more things come to you more easily. When you're in this place, masculine, of being the High Priestess, of following your intuition, you're not beating your head up against the wall. You're not playing by anyone else's games. And I think that's what these cards in the reverse are saying, is that you're out of your element, okay? Don't there's no need to play in that way. You have your own element. You can play in it in a better way. You'll have more positivity. You'll be able to progress faster in life. Now, for the masculine, we have the Page of Cups, a small emotional offering. This could be connected to what was giving you that anxiety earlier. Somebody touched you in a way that that was surprising, that threw you off. Now, I don't know if this is your feminine necessarily, or if it's just you were open to a possibility or to an experience that surprised you emotionally. Okay, now it's a small offering, or it's an immature person, and I'm feeling like that's going to move on. Okay, you're going to move on from that. Feminine, you've got your eyes on the prize here, ready to start over, ready to move forward in your emotional new beginning. I like that. I like the cat's in this suit too, so it means, we have to be spry and ready for it, which is good. And you're back in your element here, both of you back in your element. Now, masculine, Queen of Swords, speaking truth. Speaking truth maybe about this situation, maybe to this person that kind of caught you off guard. Be compassionate in your truth and what's coming forward for you, so that then you're not creating more trauma. Okay, we don't need to create more trauma and more karma involved in that by any means. Okay. And then for the feminine, we have the Hierophant. So it looks like anything that's non-traditional will work for you, okay? You may want tradition deep down inside, but I think that right now non-traditional connections are working for you. That just means, dating without locking it down. There's no reason to put a ring on it when you're not ready for it, okay? I'm going to give you two more cards, two extra cards. We've got Eight of Wands, so we're kind of sitting in this energy, feminine. And we're also sitting in that energy, masculine. Now, here's the thing about the Hangman is that it's a self-imposed stagnancy, a self-imposed reflection and looking at things differently. But when it's in reverse, we're being tossed out, right? So masculine is being tossed out of sitting back and observing. It's time for the masculine to move forward away from the affects that have happened. Okay, it's you are going to have to take some action to move yourself, but I don't think it's necessarily, again, we have another wands upside down, I don't think it's necessarily creating anything. I think that it's just you have to actually decide that a small situation isn't enough for you, and that you want to move forward in a different way with someone else. And here we have Ace of Swords. So there's more truth being spoken. This is a new truthful beginning, okay, between the two of you. So once the meeting does happen, we have to be honest with each other, okay? Feminine, be honest with what you've been going through. Masculine, be honest with what you've been going through, so that you have this foundation to build upon. And this foundation might be that you have like very witty, very cutting sense of speaking. So it might be dark humor, something along those lines, where you guys have that connection. This is your connection here. You start with the connection of wanting to have an emotional fulfillment, but it's been a struggle, and then you're ending and you're finding each other through the truth of who you are through this journey, and speaking that to each other. It's a beautiful reading for you, Cancer. If this resonates, please let me know in the comments section below. If you want to have a personal reading, my website is also in the box below. Or just hit the like button. That's a great help for the channel as well. And for now, I'm going to send you all of my love. Happy Valentine's Day.